Hello everyone, my name is Somajit Goswami, owner of this group. Now, in this video, I'm going to read one of Eon essays. Um, I have received a few queries from you guys who keep on asking me, how do we read articles for common admission test and how do we improve ourselves? Now, one of the key factors that really helps you with your comprehension is that reading diverse articles helps you a lot. Now, in this video, I'll try to read one of the articles, not entirely, but maybe the first few, just maybe, just spark that thing for you. And then let's see where we can go through that. How do we actually read articles? So let me first select one of the articles and then probably see which one can I take. So this is one thing that I do. I always, research a little bit before I can actually choose. There are so many, awesome articles that are there in this website. So let us take this one actually, Seed of Suffering, which is a mental health article. Now, as you can see, this this is the layout how the website looks. I hope you guys have seen it. Now, before I start reading, I would want to open my dark reader. It's an extension that I use while reading. One of the greatest things about Eon is that if you're a beginner to reading articles and if just started reading and you feel like you know you're getting zoned out a lot, so a lot of articles has this feature that virtually I am doing with you right now. So you can basically look into this tab which has a written which has something written over here as listen here. So when you click onto it, a voice will start its narration and they will actually read the entire article for you inside out. There will be no any comments for the passage. So basically they'll just read it out for you. And if you have to, grab main idea and any specific details about that article, that is on you. Now that is where I come in. If you have any problem regarding articles, you can just send me in the links and I'll try to help you with them. So without further ado, let's start. So let us read this article. So I'll definitely not read the entire article. I'll just read a few passages and I'll let you be the judge if my narration is being good to you. So let us read it together. I would want you to pause it, read it, the first two passages, and then I'll try to explain. The voices told him that he was God, and Oliver believed them. Only 17 years old, he was special, chosen, a higher being whose wisdom and intelligence were beyond compare. Psychiatrists, however, labeled these voices as auditory hallucinations. In his first psychotic episode, a diagnosis of schizophrenia soon followed. For the next 5 years, Oliver would spend weeks in mental institutions and hospitals in the northern England where he lived. When he was seemed too aggressive for one facility, he was injected with sedatives, bundled into the back of a van, and driven to a higher security institution. The drugs made the voices distant. Oliver felt subdued and heavy as he fell back to earth. Now, a very, very, very interesting article. I want you all to read this article. This is a very good article. I have not read it earlier, but I can, by the very first passage itself, I can realize that this is going to be a very deep article. The first passage basically tells me about a boy named Oliver. I don't know whether he's a boy, a man, or a girl. Okay, but I understand that he has to be some guy. Okay, obviously he's a 17-year-old. Okay, he's a boy, 17-year-old. Written over there. It starts off with Oliver and the voices that he hears in his head, which tells him that he's God. He has, too much of wisdom, intelligence, which is beyond compare. Cut to the next line tells him, the next line basically tells us that psychiatrists, however, are labeling these voices as auditory hallucination. Now, I would not want to go into what hallucinations is. They're just, what exactly is hallucination? A good idea. Let's read what hallucination. That are illusory perceptions, a common symptom of severe mental disorder. Okay. Now, like me, you can also, get a extension of a dictionary that can pinpoint into the words that you don't understand. Now, I obviously understand what hallucinations are, but sometimes when just when you're comprehending something, you would want to not, cut down the flow. So you realize in the first passage, psychiatrist denied that he's no god. He's just, hearing all those auditory hallucination. It is a psychotic episode in his life. And soon after that, what followed was schizophrenia. Now, schizophrenia is also a mental health disorder. Let's read a little bit about it. I'm not going to explain it. You can pause and read. Now, then what happens is that after that, he spent a lot of weeks in his, institutions in northern England, where sometimes when he got too aggressive, he was, injected with sedatives. Now, sedatives obviously will make him docile. He will not be able to walk. And sometimes, he was, thrown into a van which would drive him into a higher security institution. Now, let's read the next passage. The next paragraph, rather. The next paragraph is 5 years have passed. Although he is unemployed, Oliver is now able to live at home with his wife and young daughter. He takes clozapine, an antipsychotic that's prescribed to a patient who don't respond to the two first line drugs, which such as olanzapine and quetiapine. It's a last resort for a reason. Clozapine is a toxic medicine that reduces the number of white blood cells in his body. So Oliver has regular blood tests to make sure he isn't immune compromised, a concern that has grown during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, guys, please understand that how beautifully this paragraph is written. This paragraph is talking about Oliver, who is taking clozapine, an antipsychotic that is prescribed to him. Also, it is telling you that clozapine is a toxic medicine, which is the last resort. Also, Oliver, you know, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, he has to regularly get his blood tested just so that his immune system is, in check. Now the idea is that so far the two paragraphs that we read introduced us to this fellow named Oliver, his conditions. So far we don't know anything about who is writing it, what is the point of writing it. Maybe a doctor is writing it, maybe it's a journal, maybe there is something. I don't know. Let's read the third paragraph. I haven't seen Oliver in all this time. I only know that what's been happening to him via his father, my uncle. We're cousins, with just 2 years between us in age. Yet Oliver and I have lived through different, often opposing experiences of mental disorder. Now I understand who the author is. I know that the author is a cousin brother to this fellow Oliver. He also has a mental health disorder. I don't know what kind of so far. Let's read. While Oliver felt lifted to the heights, I believed that I was worthless, guilty of ruining the lives of others. Far from being heavenly, I felt like I was better off dead and buried. This suicidal ideation combined with a lack of motivation and a baseless guilt is a typical of a mood disorder such as depression. Accordingly, doctor prescribed me antidepressant that adjust the neurotransmitter serotonin in my brain rather than clozapine or another antipsychotic which target a different brain chemical, dopamine. Now you have to understand this is giving too many information. This is what exams like common admission and ZAT tests you, giving you too much information. The author is a cousin brother of this fellow Oliver, suddenly making a contrast difference that he himself is not having those problems that Oliver has. Oliver has this problem that he thinks he's heavenly, he's God, while the other fellow, the author right now, he thinks he's a worthless guy. He is guilty of ruining the life of others. He thinks that in his mind, and for that reason, he's suicidal. And that is because of this, cause. The effect is basically cause effect relation. The effect is that doctors are giving the author antidepressant. Now, antidepressants are a little different from antipsychotic, which his cousin brother Oliver is getting, which targets a different brain chemical. Now we don't have to look into what is a serotonin, what a dopamine is. That is a different thing. Cat or Zat will never ask you what dopamine, serotonin is. So let's not ponder on them. Let's read the next paragraph. I have never been okay. I can also read I've never been institutionalized, but I sometimes use this thing that I read it, in a colloquial terms or probably archaic one. I have never been institutionalized or injected with sedatives, although I am prescribed them. I have never heard voices in my head. From its symptoms to its treatment, my depression is a gulf apart from Oliver's schizophrenia. Mine is a mood disorder, not a psychotic disorder. Like the split between animals and plants in biology, these two fundamental categories have been a cornerstone in psychiatry since the work of a German psychiatrist, Emil Kraepelin, in the late 19th and the early 20th century. His textbooks laid the foundation of DSM-5 and ICD-11. The latest edition of the two reference manual published by the American Psychiatric Association and the World Health Organization, respectively, that are used by psychiatrists to diagnose hundreds of different mental disorders, each grouped into 20 or so categories: the disorder of personality, psychosis, substance use, anxiety, depression, eating, sexual dysfunction, and so on. Now, this is basically giving a differences what this passage entirely is giving all the differences that is present in his condition as in compared to his brother or cousin brother, that is Oliver. He has made this remark in the very first line that he has never been institutionalized or injected with sedatives. He never required that. He never heard voices in his head. His condition is a little different from his brother. His condition is that he thinks he does not, he's guilty of disturbing others, and he is suicidal in that sense. That is also a mental health disorder, starkly different from what his brother Mr. Oliver is facing right now. Let's go to the next passage. Not giving too much information based passage, not really that important. The next paragraph. Since the publication of DSM-2 in 1980, a psychiatric diagnosis has helped to select the right treatment for a person's symptom. It's, it has also made the tracking of diagnosis over time and space possible, a field known as psychiatric epidemiology. Now, guys, I'm not gonna continue on this paragraph till the end. I'm not doing it for a reason because this is a heavy article. I want you all to read this. I will complete this paragraph and then I'll make my conclusion. So let's read it. Since the publication of DSM-2, we read it. Okay, known as the psychiatric epidemiology. However, while these while these diagnostic guides might be useful for doctor who must make daily decision about care and treatment, some critics argue that diagnostic systems have actually s- stymied or stymied the process of psychiatry. Now, this I understand by comprehension. This is basically creating a hindrance, while others specialties of medicine have drastically reduced the mortality rate from heart disease, cancer, and stroke. Let me just a situation in golf where opponents ball block the line between to hinder prevent the exactly what hindrance. Yeah. So this is what reading articles do to you. This basically I don't understand why they have used such a irritating word, but then I totally understood that this is something about hindrance. Now here the line says that while other specialities of medicines have drastically reduced the mortality rates from heart diseases, cancer, and stroke, there haven't been similar success in mental health care. As a paper from 2013 puts it, mortality has not decreased for any mental illness. Prevalence rates are similarly unchanged. There are no chemical tests for diagnosis. Detection of disorder is delayed well beyond generally accepted onset of pathology, and there are no well developed preventive interventions. In short, psychiatry appears stuck. This is a heavy article, and in no ways I can actually make a audio video recording on this that will be 20-30 minutes long to make you understand the entire passage. This is a heavy one and a very interesting one. This is giving you too many insights into the mental health disorders and that people are facing it. I really want to read it entirely, that I will do for sure, but I want you all to understand that there are only few things required when you read these kind of articles. There is an extension. Okay, I don't know if you can see the extension, but there's an extension called instant dictionary by goodwordguide.com. You can use this. I use this one. You can use your own if you prefer. You just need a dictionary extension that basically gives you meaning of the words, and you just need to read it. Just read it slowly. Please understand, the idea is slowly read it, and eventually you will be able to pick up the pace. If you're a beginner, I would advise you to use this feature, this tab, listen here. You're not gonna get listen here tab on every article. There are a few articles that has this tab, so make use of it. They have given you a listen here tab for a reason. Also, I want to make a very interesting, you know, idea with an interesting idea that I just found. They have given you the word limit, that is 3400 words. Now you can totally understand how exactly 3400 words you will be able to read. Okay, this is the amount of, this is the length of this article. So this is going to get a lot heavy, and that is the reason why I'm not continuing on it. I will probably continue it on different videos if you want me to. If you want, comment down. If you like the video, please share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and if there are any comments that you want to make, you can comment. If there are any suggestions you want me to inculcate, I'll do them. Okay, so that's all from me. That's all for now from me, Somajit Goswami. Thank you very much for bearing it with me, and I hope you have a very good time reading.